A text says, "You're on my mind." A bouquet from 1-800-Flowers says, "You're my everything." Heartfelt moments belong in the real world, not just your phone. For 50 years, 1-800-Flowers has helped millions of people make memories that'll last a lifetime with gifts they'll cherish forever. Their expertly curated arrangements and gift baskets ship nationwide with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Don't wait for the next big moment. Make it when you visit 1-800-Flowers.com/podcast. That's 1-800-Flowers.com/podcast.
This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace. November is Men's Health Awareness Month, so Talkspace wants guys to know that being prepared for life's biggest challenges and opportunities means prioritizing mental health, too. Talkspace can help you go beyond fine-tuned workouts, supplements, and productivity hacks. Talkspace can help you fine-tune your inner life so you can succeed in being the best version of yourself in any situation. And with Talkspace, you can get therapy from anywhere and on your time. You can even text your therapist between sessions. If you're depressed, stressed, struggling with a relationship, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, Talkspace is here for you. Plus, Talkspace takes most insurance, and most insured members have a $0 copay. Men's Health Awareness Month is the perfect time to reach out to Talkspace. Now, get $80 off your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com and save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com. That's Talkspace.com, promo code SPACE80.
Crystal, have you ever done one of these group travel vacations where you're with a bunch of strangers at the beginning and by the end, you know everybody on the trip?
Oh, yeah. I've done a couple. I've actually done that. What was that? That was Japan and Dubai. I loved it. Have you?
I have. I have done several adventures by Disney trips. I did one with Tauk. I did an extension with Emerald Cruise Lines, who have a backpack that people might be able to win if they listen halfway through today. But we wanted to share because we've heard from many of our adventures that they've never done group travel vacations. So what is our experience with group travel? How's it better? What are some of the potential pitfalls? It's the good, the bad, the ugly. But I'm going to spoil this a little bit, but mostly the great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
on today's show, we're going to talk about 3 specific destinations with our special surprise guest as well. So you can start dreaming about your next adventure right about now.
And are you looking for gear that experienced travelers like moi use? You'll find our favorite curated travel helpers, from headphones to slacks and from health and fitness tools to chargers. It's all at stackingadventures.com/gear of the day, or just GOTD. You'll help the show and you'll help yourself adventure better. And you're not going to waste your money on horrible gear that you won't love and that's useless.
It's so frustrating.
Yep. All
and
right.
Now,
let's get this show on the road.
Ready for adventure? From vacation to staycation, and from the mountains to the beach. This is the Stacking Adventures podcast.
welcome back to the Stacking Adventures podcast. We head around the world with our adventure community to stack memories we're going to remember forever. And every adventure has a story. And on this one, we hear your adventures. I'm joined by my co-host, the Crystal Hammond.
And he's Joe Salsy. Hi.
You actually said I'm Joe Salsy Hi
I'm
instead
Joe.
of you. How are you, Crystal?
I'm wonderful. I am wonderful. I'm ready to talk travel.
I am too. I've been waiting for this. We record these on Fridays, so it's like the beginning of a long weekend where we start dreaming, not just about the weekend, but about the next place we're going to go. And of course, today, Crystal, we are joined by the travel agent with the mostest, the hostess with the mostest. She's the woman behind Vacations by Donna. It's been too long, Crystal, since we've had her on. Donna Pelletier is back. How are you, Donna?
Oh, I'm great. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Joe. It's been great. I've been very busy. People are traveling.
That's a
People
good
are
thing.
seeing places that they have never been before.
That's got to be exciting when you help somebody with a trip and then they come back and do they ever send you pictures?
Yeah, they send pictures and they actually come back and tell me, hey, give these hints to your next travelers, little tidbits. I do get a lot of feedback.
Cool. So you're going to share those today, right?
Sure.
Absolutely. For no extra fee. Donna's going to help today. All right. Let's get into this. So group travel is something, Crystal, that you and I have both done a little bit of. And I know, Donna, you've done some group travel as well. But Crystal, let's talk about one of the places that you went on a group trip.
Yeah, way back in the day. I can't believe it's been over 10 years. In 2015, I went to Dubai on a group trip, and it was a Groupon. Yes, those worked through Gate One Travel at the time. But what I loved about it, so this one was 7 days, 5 nights. That's kind of my sweet spot when it comes to traveling. I don't want to be away too long or too short. But what I liked was like the not thinking piece, because if I went to Dubai, I would have no idea how to get there, where to stay, where to eat, what is safe to do, because it's a totally different country, customs, all that other stuff, language. So going with the group, it was really easy for me because everything was planned out. And for me, it was a really good sweet spot of free time and time with the tour guide, because our tour guide, we peppered him with questions. And what I also liked, we did not have the same tour guide. We had 2 different tour guides for the different legs of the trip also. So you got a different flavor from 2 different perspectives, because they were kind of like night and day, which I really appreciated. But the snacks, they told us about local snacks. They told us about...
Crystal's always about the snacks.
It is.
It took you 37 seconds to get to the snacks.
They talked about the snacks. Oh, and the free food. We had a welcome dinner that first night in the hotel. And another cool thing I learned, because I talk a lot. I know you guys hear that Joe talks a lot, but I talk a lot too.
I'm right here.
But the one of the organizers from the company told us, she's like, yeah, this is a new hotel because the previous hotel we used weren't up to our standards. And we let them know, hey, we will fire you for future bookings if you don't get it together. So we were actually staying in a brand new hotel, which was, a plus on us. So these booking companies, they have like high standards because they want people to come back. They want me to come, talk about my experience with them. So if the hotel, was gross and dirty, I'm going to say that, and I'm going to tell people not to book with them. So they are really like, I want to say they have your best interests at heart, and they're going to show you an amazing time. Like we saw things that we totally wouldn't have saw on our own. We had like this dinner, we had boat cruises, we did the sand and snow in the same day in Dubai. Snow. So the shopping mall has a ski resort inside. So we went skiing on one of the days, and I told my friend too, but this wasn't a part of the tour. The lady told us about it. And so I was like, let's get there early. And of course, I'm glad we did that, because after we finished all the slopes and everything, there were like a bajillion, that's a real number, kids that were there. And I was like, I'm so glad we're on our way out, because we had everything to ourselves because we got out early.
Okay, so wait a minute, Crystal. There's a ton to unpack there, but the first thing everybody's wondering is, being on the snow slopes in Dubai, did you like it? Like, is this a must-see, or is this you can skip it?
It was inside of the shopping mall. So I liked it personally, because when can you ski inside of a mall? Like, right. And
it's almost like the Mall of America. Have either of you been to the Mall of America? Donna, you been there?
No, I haven't.
Yes, I've been there many times.
Yeah. And you got the amusement park right in the middle of the mall, which turns it into just a whole different experience. You've got a whole level of the Mall of America. For people who don't even know where this is outside Minneapolis. And you've got this whole restaurant district, nightclub district. Like, I don't know, Donna, it's crazy. How do you describe the Mall of America to somebody who's never been there?
It's like a small mini mall city. It's
huge.
And I believe they still have the ice skating rink in the middle of it. Last time I was there, they had put an ice skating rink in the middle of it.
Ice skating rink and a full-fledged amusement park.
Yes.
With all of the, all
that
the
is
above.
Interesting.
Yeah, as if an amusement park wasn't enough. We have to have an ice skating rink too. But you'd expect ice skating, Donna, in Minneapolis. You don't expect skiing
right.
in Dubai.
And I
For
think
sure.
that's why, because it's a desert, they were like, all right, let's give some people something that they would never expect. So it was
Well, I think
really
it's totally
cool.
we have lots of money flex is what it is.
Well, that could be it too, but it was super cute, and I definitely would do that every time I went back because it was fun. But just get there as soon as it opens, because once the kids get there, you're gonna
It's
have,
over.
not to say you're gonna have yellow snow, but you just don't
Oh,
want to
no.
cross that bridge.
No. Don't even want the chance. You said so many cool things there about group travel. So I have two sets of friends that recently went abroad for the first time. One, and by the way, both of them were a little afraid of going abroad. They just never been outside the United States. My mom, as people have listened to the show before, went with us on a Christmas markets cruise back in December. She was afraid, like everybody, their first time out of the U.S. is kind of afraid. You've never done it before. You don't know what it's all about. So one couple decided, because they really wanted to plan every step of the itinerary, and I thought they were a little worried about safety, they planned everything by themselves.
Oh.
Which is, the upside of that is everything is 100% custom. Everything is 100% custom. The bad news is it's 150 million bags of money. Like, I paid a lot for Adventures by Disney. You're going to pay even more to do, I want to do this specific thing, this specific thing, this specific thing. The other downsides are, number one, you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
Like, some of the coolest thing about group travel for me, one of the coolest things was the travel company, to your point, Crystal, you know, they're like, this hotel stinks, so we're getting a new hotel. Like, they already know the place to stay. They already know the things that are the must see, and they know the must sees in a way that we don't. So there were days, as an example, on one of our group travel trips where the guides were like, okay, this is the only day we're getting up at 6:30. We're on the bus. The rest of the days, we're going to have some sleep in days. It's going to be fun. But we're going to tell you right now, to your point with once the kids wake up, they're like, if we don't get to this historical site by 8 a.m., it's going to be flooded with people and it's going to stink. But if you guys just stick with us for one day, we're going to get you there at 8. You're going to have the place to yourself. We did this with the Acropolis in Greece, by the way, in Athens. And we got there really early. And when we were leaving, there was a line a mile long to get in. And we were already on our way out. And we had all these wonderful pictures with no people behind us, you know, which was incredible. So you miss out on what you don't know. You're planning a trip to a place you've never been. You have no idea.
Agreed.
But the third thing is, the people that we meet on these tours have become, some of them, friends for life, which is really cool. And you don't have this ability to make, don't get me wrong, maybe you have enough friends, but I really like the idea that on these trips I get to meet some new people. And I'm an introvert. You know, I play an extrovert, but yes, I am an introvert. And and it just it is always so neat to meet some of these cool people that are on the trip with you. The other couple did a trip to Greece in a group tour, and they came back with all these memories and all these places that they didn't plan themselves. It was already pre-planned, didn't have to do any of the legwork. Now, don't get me wrong, we're going to talk about some legwork I think that you want to do, but for them, it was all handled. And Donna, you're nodding.
Yeah, I just want to go back to when you take these tours, the guided tours, you're actually with people in that country that knows the ins and outs. They know they're going to make sure you don't miss anything that you might miss if you go by yourself. You didn't know what you don't know. You don't know. So they're there to really show you the ins and outs and put you immerse you into the culture.
And it is cool. And some of the stuff that we did on some of these group tours, when we were in South America, we had a cookout behind the hotel where they did the South American tradition of burying the food under hot rocks in a hole in the ground. You know, they had a hole in the ground with these hot coals, and then they buried it. And then we sat there and we watched a show for 45 minutes while our food was cooking in this, in this. I would have never done that. Like there's no way I'm going back here in Texarkana Crystal, and bury my food in the
don't.
background. Yes, but seeing some of the traditions.
They do that in Iceland too, where we buried bread because the land is just so hot. And so after our tour, we dug it up with a shovel, and then we buried a new loaf of bread down there for the next tour group that would come. And by the time they finished, and it was delicious bread.
The second thing that you talked about, though, Crystal, was not touching your bags.
Well, that didn't happen for me. You were just telling me about that.
Oh, really?
Had to. Yeah. Yeah, somebody else was telling me about that. But tell us about, this is a good segue for your Disney trip, how they handle the bag stuff.
So at the airport for this particular tour, I just had to stand by my bags and show the people which ones were mine, and they took it directly from the airport. Like from the airport, and then it showed up in my hotel room. It didn't even show up at the front desk. It showed up in my hotel room.
Wow.
And then when we transfer from hotel to hotel, I just put the bags outside. Almost like, Donna, when you were here last time, we were talking about cruises, right? And the great thing about a cruise is that you don't change rooms, so you don't have to worry about the bags. It's the same thing here with group travel. You just set the bags outside. They take your bags on to the next spot. And yeah, really cool, Crystal.
All my souvenirs. That would be nice to not have to lug my heavy bag of souvenirs.
The third thing is, every group travel I've been on, we had two different types of guides. We had a guide that kind of was with us the entire trip. And actually, it's funny. Our tour guide when we did Egypt and Jordan, her name was Donna, and Donna was amazing. All Donnas I know are amazing. They're incredible. But Donna was with us the entire time. But then she brought in these local guides. And so having the local guide that really gave you the flavor and the history, and then having the group guide who knew me, who knew, over the course of 7 days, she really gets to know the people on the tour. Because Donna, when you look at the size of these groups, you're on a cruise ship. There might be 5,000 people on a cruise ship.
Too many.
But how many people are in these groups when you group travel?
Group travel can vary. They have the small group travel, 22 people, all the way up to 45 people. So it's still, you're not getting lost or crowded. You still have your personal space. You're not overcrowded like a cruise ship. And the tour guide can still give you the attention or answer your questions along the way.
Well, and that's a cool thing for us. Everyone I was in was about 40 people.
Ours was like 14, 15. Like,
yours is much smaller than mine.
Yeah, which was great.
Yeah, you really got to know everybody.
It was good.
Now, the bad news about this, and occasionally there is bad news. I've done group travel now 5 times. If you don't like somebody on the trip,
they're annoying.
The good news is you can stay away from them. The other good news is they will give you a lifetime of entertainment talking about how annoying they were the entire time. When we were in Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia, we were at Angkor Wat. And when you're at Angkor Wat and you're there by the beautiful temple and they have the monks at the temple, it is so amazing. And even if you're not religious, it's so spiritual to be out there with these monks. This particular woman was telling the monks that they were doing it wrong.
Oh.
So we apparently had a monk, an Angkor Wat expert, who was more expert than the monks who have been there their entire life, and was telling the monks that's how great this woman was.
Oh, no.
It was so bad. But I got to say, in 5 trips, she was the only one. And we still find her very entertaining because it became very fun to watch her tell everybody just
open mouth, insert foot. Yeah.
How much more she knew about travel than every single person on the trip. It blew me away. And the good news was she was annoying from the very beginning. So we got to sit at a different table.
Oh, that's important too. Oh goodness. You gotta be 10 steps ahead of those people.
Yes. You're like, hey, let's talk specifically, Donna, about the groups that you're with. So I've been with 3 different groups: Adventures by Disney, which is 150 bags of money; Tauk, which is also a lot of bags of money; but is for an older crowd as well. Is definitely for an older age group. I've been with Emerald, which is much more affordable, and was a younger group of people. But you had a tour group that you brought our way today, which is Adventures with Colette. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Colette Tours. Yeah, they
Colette
do a lot of
Tours. Yeah, and I look at Colette, and it looks like this is kind of a sweet spot. You're going to pay some money to go with Colette, but man, looking at what they do, it's really cool. When you're evaluating these different tour groups like Colette, what are you looking for in a tour group?
I'm looking for, even though they're hitting a lot of the great destinations along the way, I'm looking for flexibility in excursions. Somebody may not want to go to the museum. They want to go more of a cooking class. They do have the options to take different excursions along the way and give you free time.
Yeah.
I like that.
Which is super important for me, because I often have 50 more things I want to do than what the tour is going to provide.
Exactly.
Because you do have a limited amount of time. And frankly, Donna, the cool thing about that free time as well is sometimes you want to go on a trip and you just don't want to do the excursions. Like, I just want to be in the Greek islands and I want to sit on a beach.
Yeah, in the sun.
Yeah. And other people want to go and do the cooking class or do the extra thing. The first one that I want to talk about, we're all going to dream about this together because none of the three of us have been here. I thought I wanted to do this tour for my 60th birthday, by the way. The Northern Lights of Finland.
Oh.
And by the way, if you've never seen the Eugene Levy tour special that's on one of the streaming services.
Oh, I got to look that up.
He's so hilarious, but he goes to Finland in the winter. And it's so awesome because this trip is Finland in the winter. Mm-hmm. And on one of the main pages is the number one thing I want to do. You stay in one of these domes in the middle of nowhere. And so when you turn the lights off, Crystal, in your dome, you've got all the stars and the Northern Lights.
Yeah, and that's an amazing trip. That one would go right through the winter, November right till March. You have the igloos, you're staying in, getting a lot of the culture out there, experiencing firsthand what it's like to really be up close and experience everything that has to offer.
That's exciting.
Let's walk through some of the things because like I feel like Pavlov's dog. I look at the itinerary and I just start salivating. First of all, you fly into Helsinki, which everything I've seen about Helsinki is a city I want to go to. And immediately you, of course, Crystal, you talked about welcome dinners. Every tour I've been on, you start with a welcome dinner where you get to know everybody. You go around the group and you tell everybody who you are, where you're from. And don't worry if you're an introvert.
It's quick.
You don't have to say a lot.
Not. Right. Yes. It's quick or not. It's however long you want it to be.
That's
Another
right.
thing that caught my eye about this too was that you get a chance to actually stay longer. So they have the hotel that you'll be at. You can actually stay, you can extend or pre-stay, and it's pretty cheap. It's $130 per night. And I was like, that's not bad to get there early just to get the lay of the land too. I've never done that before. Have you done that, or is that something you like, Joe?
Well, I love it, but usually, ladies, I get there a day early because I worry about my flights. Oh. And if my flight gets delayed and I get there right on time, then I'm going to miss part of the tour. Plus,
it's scary.
I like kind of feeling a little bit more at home. I don't want to be discombobulated and lost, and then I'm on a tour immediately. I want to either just sit at my hotel for a little bit. I want to get rid of some of the jet lag. I like getting there early. Donna, this is actually the first tour I've seen that does this, that can help you pre-book the night before. Maybe other ones do, but these guys really do a good job of going, hey, if you want to show up 24 hours early, we got you with a special rate on the room.
Yeah, normally people will take the 2 nights at the end and just stay 2 extra nights because they know little bit more about the destination now, and they want to go do their own thing. I don't have a lot of people that get there earlier, except for the, worried about the flight issues, which makes perfect sense. But at the end, they said, we're definitely going to stay 2 extra nights because now we know a lot about the area. We want to go ahead and roam on our own.
Explore.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, that's so funny because we're going to talk about Italy later. So roam on your own, kind of foreshadowing there. We on my first group tour, it was to Italy, which we're going to talk about in the second half of today's show. But our guide even told us, Donna, that a group tour is a fantastic way to preview a place you might not feel that comfortable with at first, but that you can go back to later. And sure enough, my friends that I mentioned that were on the group tour to Greece, they're like, we can't wait to go back. And the second time we're going by ourselves and we're going to the places that we really like, but there were things that we wanted to see that now we know and we feel much more comfortable. I bet you get this all the time.
Yeah, a lot of people come back from tours and then they do their research on, I know we heard about something we could have done else in that destination, and they can really do their research, and I can help them do their research on what their interest is, especially their interests. I want to make sure I hit on that and make their next trip more memorable for them.
Yeah, because that is interesting, because with our Tauk trip, everything we saw was amazing. It was great, but the things that I'm interested in were different than a lot of the people on the trip. When you start doing stuff on your own after you've been on a group tour, you realize the variability of what you planned because you just don't know. Like some of the stuff sounds so good online and then you show up for it and you're like, oh my God,
underwhelmed.
That was horrible. Yeah.
That's the thing too about the feedback. And that's what I like about, like, when people hate something, they're going to be very vocal about it. And the tour guides, it's kind of their job to make sure, okay, we're removing all the stuff people hated and we're adding more of things people actually liked. That's what I like.
Even the stuff on that Tauk trip that I truly did not love, it was still a 7. So on this Helsinki trip, you take a 20-minute stroll to the restaurant, which I like. They don't put you in a van. You actually take a stroll to the restaurant. So you get a feeling of the city, but you're still in the group. So if you've never traveled internationally, you're still with a group of people. You've got a guide who knows where the restaurant is.
Yeah.
You're not out there with a map that gives away to everybody that you're not from here if you're just staring at the map. On day 3 of the trip, you drive through some charming neighborhoods. You visit the Church in the Rock, this Lutheran place of worship, it says, excavated directly into solid rock. You see the steel monument dedicated to world famous composer Jean Sibelius, probably how you don't pronounce that name. And then and then they give you the whole afternoon to either just enjoy the hotel and relax or to go do your own thing. Then we go out and we do the Northern Lights on day 4 and on day 5. But we're going now into these little towns and we're experiencing some of the cuisine inside of the towns. We're also finding some of the native culture, a Lappish teepee, sipping some warm berry juice, which is a Finnish tradition. So you're getting a little bit into the traditions as well. And then the importance of reindeer.
Santa Claus, reindeers.
I like this though, because you're getting a taste of things like, I wouldn't even know that that's a thing. Like most of the things you wouldn't know it's a thing. So I don't know. I think we've heard enough about the itinerary. Like this is a go.
Just absolutely beautiful. All right. In the second half of today's show, we're going to chat about a couple more places. Greece. I'm headed to Greece, Donna. I'm on my way to Greece. Can't wait to it was a last minute diversion, so we'll talk about why I'm going to Greece, because I didn't expect to go to Greece. And then we are going to talk about Italy. We're going to roam through Italy, as Donna likes to say.
We're going to quickly roam.
But at the halfway point today, we are in the middle of this competition, speaking of emerald, for a cool emerald backpack. So imagine how cool you're going to look with this awesome emerald backpack. But you have to win it
Exactly.
But we're getting close, man. We are getting close, Crystal. Somebody's going to win this because we've been narrowing down where in the world Crystal Hammond is.
And yeah, we're skipping to head to stackingadventures.com/mystory for your guess, because the last guess was so close. They guessed that I was somewhere in Japan, and it's not Osaka.
We started off with, is Crystal...
Started everywhere. The northern... Wait, where was it?
We started off with, is Crystal in
the mountains?
In the mountains, and the answer was no.
No,
which could still be. It means she's not on Mount Fuji. And she's
Oh,
probably not up in Sapporo, where there's a lot of mountains.
Never even heard of that.
So, well, there you go. You know she's not in Sapporo because she doesn't know where Sapporo is. And then we just gave you another clue, everybody. And then the second thing was she in the Mediterranean? And the answer was no. And then the third was...
The third was I...
Continental United States.
Continental U.S., yep.
And the answer was no.
Then it was the Southern Hemisphere.
Was she in the Southern Hemisphere then? The answer was no. So we'd eliminated the U.S. and we did Northern Hemisphere. And then Jennifer just narrowed it down by saying, are you in Japan? And the answer is yes.
Somewhere.
And that's where we are now.
So you need to call in. So head to stackingadventures.com/mystory. You can record up to 5 minutes. So your first question is a yes or no. And then your second.
Are you in X area of Japan? Are you in whatever thing about Japan? Yes.
And then your second, you bring it home of tell me city.
Exactly where she is. Now you can call in once per quarter. So if you called in already, you can call in again.
Clean sleep.
And again, it's stackingadventures.com/mystory. All right. We're going to hear from our sponsors who help us keep on keeping on. And then Donna's going to help us. This is going to be so tough. We got to talk about Greece and Italy. That's
so difficult.
And we're back. Woo-hoo. So let's go next, ladies, to the Greek islands. And Crystal, you have been to Greece.
Yes. And I went with a group of people, but thanks to however you say Viator. Is that how you say it? The tours?
Viator.
Yeah. Viator. Duh. That makes sense. I went on some great tours, like the food tour, the Acropolis. I think there was one more that I'm forgetting, but that's what made it fun. But one thing we did avoid, like when we were in Santorini, when those cruise ship people got off, we hid, like, the turtle and shells, because there were way too many people. You couldn't see anything, you couldn't do anything. So I was glad I was not a part of a cruise ship because it was just too many people. We couldn't even see the sidewalk. Like when we left, all the not normal people, but everybody else finally came back out, and we were like, oh, this is a breath of fresh air.
That was us too when we were in Santorini, man. When the cruise ships came in, our tour guides, again, this is a great thing about a group tour. They know when that's happening. So we went and explored some ruins. We went to a winery, and we stayed away from the big city. And what was cool was our guides also helped us make dinner reservations, which one night were on our own. But they made them right as the cruise ships were leaving. So as everybody was headed back. So it's funny. We got there. We could see people scrambling that had decided to eat on their own for the cruise ship because they had to meet the cruise ship. And then we sit on these cliffs. We sit on these cliffs overlooking the Aegean Sea.
Pretty.
And, just after the sun's gone down, of course, we stood there and watched the sun go down. It was incredible.
Beautiful.
But this Greek island hopper, we're going to a few different places. Donna, where are we headed on the Greek island hopper through Gokolet?
For the Greek hopper islands, your itinerary is going to be made of, you're going to start in Athens.
Nice.
Fly in Athens, stay a night, and then...
Oh, I see here. And then Mykonos.
Nice. Then you're going to hop over to Mykonos, have some wine, some dinner, try the food. Tour a couple of days there, and then we're over to Santorini, which is everybody's favorite place.
Yes.
Try some wine there, afternoon for you to relax. There's some free time there. And then you would end back in Athens.
It is fun looking at both of these itineraries. What I like about this, Donna, is these are slow paced.
Yeah.
Like they really, instead of like our time in Santorini with Disney was 2 days. And I'm looking at Mykonos, 1, 2, 3, and then part of a 4th day. And in Santorini, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3.5 days in Santorini, with some excursions to some of these other local places that are islands that are close by, which is super cool.
Yeah,
but
I was expecting a little bit more, faster itinerary with this one, but I do see the slowdown, which I love.
I do too.
And compared to the cruise ship, you get there and you spend a day there, try to see everything. And I'm not, cruises are awesome. You get to see so much in such a little time, but you're really spending some time on this itinerary at these destinations.
Yeah, that's what in the Greek Isles, if you have a chance to watch Rick Steves going to some of these places, he as he goes, you can tell the cruise ship is a dream and a nightmare all at the same time. He's like, number one, get on some of these excursions like you've talked about, Donna, the optional excursions, because you then get in a smaller group of people, right? With a group tour like this, you don't have to do that. But if you're on the cruise ship, get in a smaller group of people. And then the second thing that was cool was he was happy to just wander off, as long as he again worried about safety, right? Make sure that you're safe. You're in a safe area. Of course, Santorini. Oh my goodness, was it safe? Like if there was any place where I think you could easily walk off. In fact, when I was on our group tour, we were in this little village, and I noticed it says they go to a couple little villages. We were in a little village, and we were having so much fun there, 4 of us, that we just decided to stay. And what was cool was our tour guide knew the people that ran one of the taverns because they're there every couple weeks, walked in to the tavern in Greek, which is Greek to me. I can't speak it. He explains to the tavern owner what we want to do and that we want to stay later. The tavern owner arranged for the taxi. The tavern owner then told us in very broken English, he goes, when you're ready to go, just come back. I'll get the taxi for you.
Oh, that was
our
sweet.
Tour guide hooked up that we could stay later in this place. So my friend Mike and I, we sat at that tavern and we enjoyed the liquid delicacies. Let's put it that way.
Oh, goodness.
Yes. Some of the local flavor. And we had a great time just chatting and sitting in the town square outside and watching the local villagers go by. And Cheryl and Dina went to the art galleries, some of the local little stores. It was, we all had a really good time just getting off the beaten path. And this is cool, Donna, in the smaller group of 40 people or 25 people, the tour guide knows you better and they're able to hook up stuff like that.
Right, exactly.
Cool.
Yeah, they really get to know you and what your interest is, and yeah, I love that. I love that part. It's really they can make it really personalized. And like I said, the excursions, they do have different excursions you can choose from that fit your interest.
Funny small note that when I did ask our cab driver, I was like, so what is, we say it's Greek, what do you guys say is Greek? And he's like, Chinese.
It's
he's
Chinese
like, nobody
to
understands.
That would make sense, yes.
Yeah. If you say it's Greek to me and you speak Greek, then that means you really understand it. Right?
Exactly.
That is interesting. So I want to talk about the excursions for a second, because when we talk about the good, the bad, the quality of the excursion that I went on, ones that I signed up for on the spot. There are many that you can sign up for ahead of time. Like I noticed, Donna, at the end of this, you can take 3 additional days and go to Istanbul.
Right. Yeah, I did see that. There's plenty of ways to customize and extensions and.
Yeah. So things like that are really great. At the end of our Emerald Christmas Markets tour, we took an extension with a small group up to Prague. And so we did a couple extra days in Prague with a guide, and then we stayed another day by ourselves. So Donna talked about, staying extra now that you know the place. That guide did not know us very well. If it was the earlier guides, like our Disney guides or our Tout guide, they knew us really, really well. When we asked them, we want to go. So in Rome, as an example, we want to go to find a cannoli, right? You're in Italy, you want a cannoli. So the first thing they told us was Rome is not known for cannolis. That's a different region. But if you want a cannoli, here is the most authentic place in all of Rome. And they told us taking the bus, how to get there. So we took public transportation, which was fun because now we're with local people instead of in an Uber. So we go across town. We went there. We went to a restaurant. We wanted to go to the Jewish Quarter, which wasn't on the itinerary, but we had done some homework. We really wanted to go. He told us what to see in the Jewish Quarter. He gave us the name of a restaurant where they didn't speak English. And it might have been the best food in all of Rome I had.
Oh, wow.
Because we were able to pantomime with them what we wanted. And oh my goodness, the lamb thing that we ate was amazing. But that they knew us. But when we went to Prague, the guide didn't know us very well at all. And the recommendations that we got from that guide were absolutely horrible. They were the most touristy things ever. One was this. It was supposed to be this medieval experience where you got to experience Prague back in the Middle Ages when it was a walled city. And we went down there. It was in a basement. And so it's made to look all medieval. So at first we're like, oh, this is really cool. And then you look around and there's nobody from Prague in the place at all. And then number two was, it was a pirate swashbuckling show that they were doing. I don't know what pirates and swashbuckling have to do with Prague. And there was like fire eating, and it was and this mediocre kind of hotel food. And we left before the end. She also recommended, and why we went to two things this woman recommended is beyond me, but she also recommended a show. And again, it felt like a bunch of people from cruise ships that were in the show. And it was like this glow in the dark experience that was incredibly touristy, very, very touristy. Didn't give us any sense of Prague. It was really kind of weird. It was in the dark and everybody was dressed in these glow in the dark outfits. So in one of the scenes, the actors are crawling on our shoulders over top of us. And I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? Like, what is?
Yeah, that sounds kid friendly.
Yes. So 2 things about that. Number one, your guides are going to be experienced. Take their recommendation, but also do some homework ahead of time. Like, don't be afraid to do some homework and go, you know what? 85% of what we do is going to be stuff with the travel company. 15% is the stuff that we want to see. Tell your guide, I want to see this specifically.
Right. And tell them more about yourself too, because then you'll be like, hey, we're looking for the cooking class kind of thing. Like, or I'm like wine, stuff like that. The more information you give them, that could be helpful. I know when we went to Japan, some of the upgrades, like we did the bullet train, which I am so glad that we did that because we skipped, like we had extra time on the other side of that bullet train ride. Because we caught the bus one way, which was like 5 hours, and then the bullet train back, which saved so much time. And not everybody did that upgrade. So a lot of the upgrades too, you'll get to decide if that's something that's really cool that you want to do. And then again, it wasn't breaking the bank. It was like $100 extra to do the bullet train. And I was like, this is like a once in a lifetime experience. Heck yeah, I'm going to get on the bullet train.
Boy, that's a great point. Once in a lifetime experience, because here's the other thing I've seen. People also, when they're planning the things they're going to do separately from the group, they take the stuff that looks not familiar and they go, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go do this other thing instead. And I have to tell you, some of the things that were unfamiliar ended up being the coolest things that we did on the entire trip. So that meal where we buried our food, one of our friends was like, you know what? I'm going to stay in the hotel room. I just want to do some reading. I'm not doing that. It doesn't sound interesting. Eating food that's been buried in the backyard just was not something. But her husband came. Yeah. And halfway through the evening, he's like, this was one of the coolest experiences we had the whole time. And Deirdre's missing it. So he starts texting her. He's like, you got to get out here. this is amazing. So then she came out. She had a wonderful
Oh,
time.
nice. I'm glad she came out. That's
But
cool.
she missed the first half because of the fact that it was something that was not familiar at all. We had a trip to a salt mine, and you could either get back on the bus or you could hike down the mountain from the salt mine. And hiking down this mountain, a bunch of people took the bus. They're just like, and by the way, for some people, it was because of mobility issues, which is a great reason. But other people could say they're just like, yeah, I'm not really into hiking. Ladies, the views we got as we're going down this mountain in Peru, we got so many views, and our guides did something really funny. One of our guides went ahead and pretended he was a local vendor. And so he put this thing on his head and he really hammed it up. And we had to get in. So instead of a snack break, we had to pretend like we were bartering with him. And so we had to give him a rock. And somebody was like, no, really, just give me a snack. And he's like, no, my friend, you have to pay. You have to pay. So here we are. And I watched this guy who's maybe in his 60s going to find the perfect rock so that our tour guide would give him. And it's funny because it's campy. It's a little stupid, but it's something I remember.
Yep.
Because of how our guide really made the trip. What about, Donna, what about, speaking of the guides and how awesome the guides are on these trips, what about tipping the guides? Do they give you some type of like rule of thumb, or do they tell you ahead of time about tipping?
I haven't gotten much feedback on tipping. I mean, of course, tip whatever makes you feel good. It's, as much as, you're having that time of your life, and he's giving you all the full experience information to make the most of your trip. So that tipping is going to be strictly from what you think you should give. It's hard to say because every tour is different. So and what it comes with would be a consideration of what you feel like you think you should tip.
Yeah. I've always struggled with this, which is a reason why I ask. Yeah. Now on the Disney tour, they told us specifically, they sent us the thing ahead of time, say, hey, tip whatever you feel, but this is a good rule of thumb. So we just went specifically with what they told us the rule of thumb was. Okay. And it was like, and the tip was not nearly as big as I thought that it was going to be. It was, I believe it was like $15 a day per person on the trip. So $30 times 7 days. So, and they also encouraged us to give cash because of the fact that the tour guides are in different places all the time, and giving them cash versus trying to figure out like a check or a cashier's check or whatever. Like just give them cash and let them figure out how to convert it is a great way to do it. And there was one trip I was on, by the way, where they actually gave us a QR code at the end and said, hey, for your tip, if you want to use PayPal or any of the apps, out there, the Cash App or whatever app, that you can do it that way. So possibly there, but
that makes things so much easier too. I mean, if you can
so much easier,
but it is a lot easier when it's, you get your phone and you don't want to take out of your souvenir money.
Right.
You want to buy those souvenirs.
Not mine.
Well, it also freaked me out on these Disney trips. I'm carrying a bunch of cash in my suitcase because we got it ahead of time. So for the full, number of days, I'm carrying cash around. So while I liked it on one hand, on the other hand, we made good use of the safe in the room, and had to make sure we gave ourselves an alert that we didn't forget that we had money in the safe, because I've heard that before too. People leave a hotel or leave a region and they left stuff in the safe. They totally forgot.
Oh gosh. That's
so don't do that. Let's talk. And for the local guides, the travel guides, often your tour will either tell you that they've already been tipped, or if they haven't been tipped, your main tour guide can tell you how much would be a suitable amount to tip that guide if tipping is going to be expected. I just asked, and it depended on the company we were with. So which way you went. So let's take a quick trip to Italy, because my God, Donna, this is disgusting. These pictures are like travel porn.
They're awful.
My dream
trip, my dream picture. I love it. But Italy has a lot to offer. This we'll do a quick itinerary. This itinerary will fly you right into Citrus. You'll spend a couple of
Stressa. I'm sure we're pronouncing it like the locals do.
Rufino, the Italian Riviera, and you have a few days there. And then you will go over to everybody's favorite Tuscany and experience Tuscany for a few days. And I love saying that. You're going to be there for a few days. You're going to enjoy it. And then you're going to see Venice and breakfast and dinners along the way too. I do want to mention that your breakfast and dinners are included, and at least a 4-star hotel along the way.
Yeah, Venice at the end of this trip is amazing. We actually extended in Venice. And by the way, even though I loved Venice, so I don't want people to hear this the wrong way, I don't need to go back. For me, one time in Venice was great. I'm glad I extended it. So I got an extended look at Venice. I would like to go out to Murano, and I noticed this trip goes to Murano where they do glass blowing. Burano, I've also heard another local island is really cool. But Tuscany, oh my goodness.
And I want to do this cooking class too, because when I went, we took the train from Venice to Milan and we went back and forth from there. And that was even the train ride, because just the beauty on both sides that you're riding through. It's so people travel by train, like it's way easier than we fly. People just hop on the train with their families too. There were so many families traveling too with all their luggage and stuff. That was really neat.
When I went to Italy, we learned how to cook food like this particular tour, this Colette tour does. And I have to tell you what was really fun. When we came back home, and we were with our family at Christmas time. We celebrate Christmas in our family. We had a pasta dinner where we made everybody the same homemade pasta that we learned how to make. So imagine going and learning how to cook and then doing something fun like that, because you bring a taste of it home for everybody, which is really cool.
Forever.
There is a reason. There's 2 reasons why we're talking about Colette tours. Reason number 1 is because the reviews of these tours, all these reviews are 4.8, 4.9 on a 1 to 20 scale. No, I'm kidding. On a 1 to 5 scale. On a 1 to 5 scale. So people love this tour company, Donna. But the second reason is that you told us, and this is why I said, hey, let's talk about this today. You've got some deals right now.
Yeah. Colette Tour is offering up to $1,500 per couple off on your tours with the air included. If you don't have air in that, it would be a little less of a discount, but you still have a discount overall. So they're offering $1,500. Also, if you're solo you travel solo, they're offering up to $1,000 off.
Ooh.
See, and there's the marriage penalty right there. You lose $250 in discounts because you got married.
Exactly.
No, but it costs more as a single.
It does.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Yes.
I'd rather go with someone. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, of course. That'd be so much fun. But I want to touch on one other important aspect about this tour company is that when you bundle your land and air with Colette, you included complimentary will be the airport transfers from your door, from your home.
Oh, cool.
So they will pick you up
home
within 50 miles of the airport you're flying out of.
Nice.
So if you're flying out of the airport and you're 50 miles from the airport, they will throw in the complimentary transfers door to airport, airport to door.
You don't have to worry about airport parking.
I know.
That's huge.
Oh,
huge.
Gosh. Yeah, it is. It is huge. Yes.
Well, what is that? I think about DFW airport. That is not just money. That's a bunch of money. Because the Italy tour, as an example, is a 12-day tour, which is fantastic. So you're spending 2 weeks. If you extend it for 2 days, man, you end up with this beautiful 2 weeks, and you get to explore on your own and do the tour. But 2 weeks of parking at DFW. But the second thing is, number 1, parking your car means you got to get there an hour early. And then also on the way home, you're exhausted and you got to go find your car is another 40 minutes. So, man,
exactly.
Holy
and your car's at home and it's safe, and they pick you up at your door, bring you to the airport, and then bring you back home, all included with that air transportation package. And with their travel insurance, you can cancel up till the day before 24 hours
Wow.
cancel for any reason travel insurance. So I just want to mention those two things.
It's
awesome.
These are amazing tours with a great tour company. And there's another bonus, which is if you book these through Donna, because you heard it on the show, you also help us continue podcasting.
Absolutely.
Yes,
So-
you help the show.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
Wonderful.
Donna, thank you so much for the time today.
Yes.
And if people are going to book, it's Vacations by Donna. How do they find you?
I can be reached at Donna at vacationsbydonna.com.
That's so cryptic. How'd you come up with that?
I know. It's easy to find. And of course, they can find me through this show, through Joe and Crystal. It's been great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me.
We can also hook you up.
Wonderful.
Yes, absolutely, with Donna. Thanks a ton, adventurers. So 2 things. If you are thinking about doing these trips, either write to Crystal or I. It's Crystal at stackingventures.com, Joe at stackingventures.com. If you want to talk more about it, we can hook you up with Donna, or just straight through Donna at vacationsbydonna.com. We'll have that on our show notes if you're walking the dog or you're on your commute. So we'll have that there as well. And then Crystal, people need to figure out where you're at in Japan. How do they do that?
We're so close. Head to stackingadventures.com/mystory. You will get it. I think you'll get it.
There it is. All right. Keep on adventuring, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Awesome.
Awesome
Thank you.
sauce.
Marketing is hard. But I'll tell you a little secret. It doesn't have to be. Let me point something out. You're listening to a podcast right now, and it's great. You love the host. You seek it out and download it. You listen to it while driving, working out, cooking, even going to the bathroom. Podcasts are a pretty close companion. And this is a podcast ad. Did I get your attention? You can reach great listeners like yourself with podcast advertising from Libsyn Ads. Choose from hundreds of top podcasts offering host endorsements, or run a pre-produced ad like this one across thousands of shows to reach your target audience and their favorite podcasts with Libsyn Ads. Go to libsynads.com, that's LIBSYN, ads.com today.